Dela write my MVVs. Welcome.
Toby is reported to have slumped and rushed to the hospital after her husband, the Ooni of Ife, gave his final pronouncement on the issue that has to do with Olori Toby and her stay in the palace of the Ooni of Ife. Now, it's been rumored, allegedly, as it is reported, as it is rumored yet again, that with all the battles that have been going on in the palace and with the family of Olori Toby intervening, trying to ensure that because Toby had twins for the Ooni of Ife, it would be very unfair to keep Toby outside the palace, that no matter what, if Naomi is returning back to the palace, Naomi and Toby would need to stay in the palace together. And the entire time they said they have been going back and forth with this issue, and Oni has been very unhappy and not wanting to deal with this issue because he does not want to be in a place where people begin to say that how can he do this even when the girl gave him twins, and all of that is not fair, because people don't understand the traditional interpretation of the things that are happening to the Ooni of Ife, especially as it has to do with Olori Naomi. And so they said the last time that this issue came up, he said that at a time where he's ready, he's going to give his final verdict on where Olori Toby will be staying. Because at the end of the day, the family was very, very expectant that if there is one woman that deserves to stay in the palace with Olori Naomi, it has to be Toby, because of course both of them, share something in common. These are the two women among the wives who have kids for the Ooni of Ife. But after due deliberation and everything, consideration and everything, whatever it is that Ooni of Ife put into consideration, Ooni gave his final pronouncement, as we heard. And he said that Toby will be staying in Lagos. That Toby will come to the palace whenever he invites Toby to the palace, and Toby will go back to Lagos. That Toby will not even stay in Ile Ife. Now, this is the problem. Nobody understands why will he say others should stay in Ile Ife and stay in the Olori's quarters. Why not the Olori's quarters? But they said he is saying Toby is not even going to stay in Ile Ife, that Toby will be staying in Lagos with the children. Why? And that is exactly what Toby would never ever have expected under the circumstances. They say immediately she got a hint of this pronouncement. They said she slummed and she was rushed to the hospital, that she was so devastated, that her level of devastation is so much. Now, whatever reason why Ooni of Ife had to say something like this or decided that this is exactly what he would want for Olori Toby is something that is unknown to anybody, but this happens to be his decision from what we are hearing. The other day there was an altercation that made him to say something that Toby will be grateful if he as much as allow her to stay in the Olori's quarters. So other wives are being asked to go and stay in the Olori's quarters, especially people like Ashley. Even though Ashley is saying it's going to be very condescending for her to go and begin to stay in the Olori's quarters when for years now, over 8 or 7 years now, she has never stayed in the Olori's quarters. Even when Queen Naomi, stayed in her own family house. That even when Queen Naomi was married to the Ooni of Ife, she was living in the palace of the Ooni of Ife with them. And right now, that she would not go and stay in the Ooni of Ife's house, that is not acceptable. In the Olori's quarters is not acceptable. It's not something that she is willing to do. It's not a sacrifice she's ready to give. But all of these other women are, some of them are moving and others are not agreeing to go. But for the Ooni of Ife to now say that Olori Toby will not stay even in the Olori's quarters is what a lot of people are finding difficult to understand. Now, I think people are saying it's because of her competitive nature. Like, she has made herself a major competition to Olori Naomi. Like, she is fighting back and forth and she is competing with Naomi. And right now, Ooni of Ife feels like Naomi has gone through so much, and Naomi deserves some respect. That Naomi deserves something better than she has right now. that anything that will put Naomi's happiness into jeopardy or in jeopardy is something that the Ooni of Ife would not encourage around him. They said that the reason why Ooni made this decision is just because of Olori Naomi, Olori Toby's level of competition with Olori Naomi is what the Ooni of Ife does not like, and that is why the Ooni of Ife does not want Olori Toby to return back to the palace of the Ooni of Ife. And you know something, I want to believe that one of the wives, the only wife that has been able to understand the circumstances of things, the events, and that is why that woman seems to be very, very happy, except for right now where there is a lot of misunderstanding. We heard that we have spoken to her, everybody has spoken to her, but she's very unhappy, is Dr. Elizabeth. If not, I like to say that Dr. Elizabeth seems to be the one person who understands the situation of things. Dr. Elizabeth has got to be the one person who knows that if you want to be happy with the Ooni of Ife, you must be ready to kind of understand that Kabiyesi does not play with Queen Naomi. And if you play with Queen Naomi, you can never ever be happy with the Ooni of Ife. You can never be happy as a wife to the Ooni of Ife. And I think that's the reason why, Dr. Elizabeth has played really safe the entire time. I think that is the reason why Dr. Elizabeth has had to tilt towards Naomi. I think that's the reason why Dr. Elizabeth has been said to be in support of Olori Naomi and the Ooni of Ife the entire time, because she knows very well that the one thing her greatest undoing, everybody's greatest undoing in that palace would be to be against Olori Naomi. And Toby was playing safe from the very beginning, from what we heard, that she was playing safe here and there. But at some point, it does seem as if she forgot herself after she gave birth to the twin, because she thought that the twin would be the final solution. She thought that she would have upper hand because of the children. She thought that Ooni of Ife is going to change everything for her sake, not knowing that that might never happen. And it is not happening because Ooni of Ife is, busy concentrating on Naomi, how to bring Queen Naomi back. And anybody who is against Queen Naomi, Ooni of Ife does not play with that person. That person is not Ooni of Ife's friend. And that is what is disturbing Toby right now. People ought to have advised Toby. Ooni of Ife is already married to all of these women. What is the need to be fighting him or fighting the wife or fighting Olori Naomi when you know that he loves Naomi? There's not something people do not understand about love. When a man loves a woman, that man will do anything to be on the good book of that woman. And Ooni loved Queen Naomi. And so, because of the way Ooni loved Queen Naomi, Ooni does not want anything that will cause Naomi headache, and that is why Ooni is saying, as it is alleged, as it is rumored, that even in Ile-Ife, Toby will not stay. They said this broke Toby's heart, and Toby landed in the hospital. I'm going to bring you more update. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.